We grow up inside a mental maze we mistake for reality. We move through a network of beliefs we never consciously chose. From birth, we inherit a specific set of filters, cultural, familial, religious, and societal programs that quietly shape our perception of what's real. But here's the truth: you don't see the world. You see your version of it, your personal reality tunnel. And every day, this tunnel reflects back a world that fits your inner programming. When we talk about wealth, we're not just referring to money. We're talking about a life rich in freedom, energy, joy, and possibility. That kind of wealth isn't an object to chase. It's a frequency, a vibration you either align with or miss entirely, depending on the tunnel you're walking through. Most people live in tunnels of limitation, not because they are doomed to lack, but because their perception has been trained to overlook the unseen doors to abundance. So what does it really mean to activate wealth? It's not about earning more. It's not about visualizing outcomes without action. It's about recalibrating the tunnel, altering your inner landscape so you start to see what was always there. It's realizing that your experience is not fixed. It's flexible, fluid, shaped by how you perceive. To activate wealth is to rewire your mental blueprint, to install a new internal compass that guides you toward material, emotional, and spiritual richness. Step 1 is simple but powerful. Realize you're inside a tunnel. If your perception is locked, if you believe life just happens and things are the way they are, you've already surrendered your power. But if you realize that reality is built through awareness, then you can shift it. You can move the walls. You can uncover hidden pathways and jump to an entirely new version of life. All things are vibration. That's not spiritual fluff. It's science. Your body vibrates, your thoughts vibrate, your emotions are frequencies. Wealth, too, is a frequency, an energetic pattern you can tune into. How? Not through empty mantras, not through fantasizing without action, but by changing your core perception of what's possible. Imagine you're in a tunnel that only shows limitation. Opportunities won't appear because your mind isn't set to perceive them. But someone else, in a different tunnel, is aligned with expansion. They see allies, coincidences, open doors, small miracles. What's the real difference? Not luck, but their internal settings. So activating wealth is about choosing your tunnel on purpose. Not just wishing for something new, but becoming a new version of you, one who naturally exists in that expanded space. Your mind is a tunnel-switching machine. Each belief is a toggle. If you believe you're not worthy, your tunnel will validate that belief. If you believe life is unfair, your perception will serve you daily proof. But if you install a belief that the universe is a fair exchange system, and that you are meant to receive in abundance, then your tunnel begins to adjust accordingly. This isn't wishful thinking, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain literally restructures itself based on the thoughts and emotions you repeat. If you stop feeding the circuits of scarcity, they weaken. If you start using new emotions, words, and behaviors, new neural paths begin to emerge. Paths that lead to energy, love, opportunity, and prosperity. To activate wealth in your whole life, you need more than just new thoughts. You need new feelings, new actions. You must disrupt the algorithm of your old identity. Break the mental script that told you it's hard, that you'll never have enough, that you're undeserving, unworthy, or not ready. You were never broken, you were simply programmed. Delete the old code. Step into the energy of certainty. Wealth doesn't come from wishing, it flows from clarity. And clarity comes when you stop negotiating, with self-doubt. You want abundance? Then behave as if it's already yours. Speak with power, walk in gratitude, give thanks like someone who already received. Break the cycle of guilt and struggle. You don't need pain to prove your worth. You need alignment with your truth. Reprogram your environment. You can't upgrade your tunnel if you're surrounded by people and messages pulling you back into the old one. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Then suddenly you'll begin to see what you were blind to. Ideas arrive with ease. People show up at the right time. Doors open where there were once walls. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You shifted your position in reality, and in this new frequency, abundance is the default setting. You become a signal of wealth. Your presence emits prosperity, and slowly, what once seemed unreachable moves closer, not through magic, but through energetic alignment. Because now you act, feel, and vibrate as someone who remembers their power. Wealth is not something to pursue. It's something to uncover. It was buried, not missing, hidden behind the illusions of limitation. And by reading these words, by reflecting, you've already begun. You've nudged the first wall of your tunnel. You're about to discover what lies beyond it. Activating wealth isn't about chasing more, it's about seeing differently. Change the tunnel, change the story, shift your frequency, and the universe will respond in kind, not by giving you something new, but by showing you what was always there, waiting on the other side. And if you've made it here, it's because something within you has already shifted. There is a part of you that always knew this, a part untouched by fear, scarcity, or doubt. A part that's been waiting for you to remember. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are the one who watches, the one who designs, the one who jumps timelines. When we speak of wealth, we don't speak of possessing. We speak of radiating. True wealth expands. It doesn't shrink or hoard. It doesn't fear loss because it flows endlessly. It doesn't come from banks or jobs or luck. It flows from your alignment with the infinite quantum field, where everything already exists. But here's a truth you must know. You cannot receive what you judge. If you envy success, resent wealth, or tie money to corruption or ego, you are energetically closing the gate. The universe cannot give you what your vibration rejects. To welcome wealth, you must make peace with its energy. Understand, it is not money that corrupts, but disconnection. And you are not here to repeat that pattern. You are here to rewrite it. So begin now. Heal your relationship with abundance. Notice your reactions to luxury, to other people's success. If it stings, that's the old tunnel speaking. Time to close it. Close the tunnel of comparison. Close the tunnel of scarcity and worthiness conditions, and open a new one, where wealth flows freely without guilt or fear, where you don't have to explain or earn your abundance, where your prosperity is evidence of your divine alignment. In that reality, you stop competing and start collaborating. You stop striving and begin flowing. You no longer chase value, you embody it. And that certainty, that is the true magnet, the alchemy, the transformation. Maybe you're wondering, is this really possible? Can you shift timelines, change your experience, and redesign your world? You won't know until you try. But here's what is true. The richest version of your life already exists. It's out there, in another tunnel. And the bridge to it is your current frequency. You don't need the whole plan. You just need to start. Choose wider thoughts. Feel deeper gratitude. Move through life with more awareness. And soon, tunnel by tunnel, you'll realize you didn't activate wealth. You just stopped turning it off, because it was always inside you. You just hadn't learned how to see it until now. And now you know. Wealth was never something to find. It was always something to remember. So walk forward, not with force, but with awareness. Because the moment you align, the universe doesn't hesitate. It simply responds.